Yeah, what's going on, family? Shaman B Miles coming to you live once again with another live stream. It's definitely an honor, the privilege, to have these great brothers on the panel tonight. We have Brother Noble Isaiah L, Brother Nuff, Shevek L, and also Noble Brandon Forte L. It's definitely an honor, the privilege. We do want to apologize. I understand we try to get up on stream. I'm sorry, try to get it up on Zoom. But technical difficulties happen, but we still glad to still have y'all on the stream doing this great, wonderful time on a Saturday night when you could have been doing something else. And as I said, without further ado, it's definitely going to be a lot of great stuff. So get your pens and your pens ready. And I definitely will say peace and love, Islam, and Brother Noble Isaiah L. And the rest of the panel, you got the floor. Go ahead.
Islam. So peace and love, everybody. So we just wanted to bring you a few updates, what's going on, so we can be on the same page moving forward. And I have a few pieces of information that I would love to share with you all, and hopefully it don't get shut down like last time. But we're just gonna let it fall, let the chips fall where they may. So I want to start off with let's click on it so people can see. We have here today you can all research this as well and look this up. They just had a ceremony for the 22 royal monarchs of Egypt, right? So they actually just took the nobles, the royals, from one museum to the next museum in Egypt. Okay, they had this grand parade for the pharaohs, 18 of the kings and 4 queens or monarchs, and they just decided to move them from one place to the next. You got to remember, these were the pharaohs from the BC era, what they call the Golden Age. Okay, the Golden Dynasty and the Golden Era. So just wanted to give you that information, what they're doing with people of the bloodline. And there's actually stories about them transferring King Tut and other pharaohs, not just from one museum to the next, but since this COVID situation took place, they've been losing a lot of finance to bring the tourist attraction. So they've been actually, the Egyptian government has been trying to figure out ways to bring more finance, and they want to do it with tourism. Since the numbers are low, they figure they get a new museum where they have new information, and they just transfer those nobles there. So I just got a little notes because there's a lot of stuff that took place over this past week and the weekend. So starting off, I want to talk about Canaanland Canada. They spent more than $700 million on unused ventilators, and they're not going to get those funds back. And what that means is that they had literally 27,025 ventilators that was delivered to them, and they actually got 40,557 of those units actually ordered, but they only received 27,000 of them. And out of the 27,000 that they received, they only used 500 of them. So they just basically spent 700 million, which in U.S. fiat currency would be 556 million. They just spent all of this fiat on getting these ventilators for the COVID, and they only was able to use 500, and they're stuck with the storage and keeping the rest of the unused ventilators, and they can't get a refund. So they literally just wasted a lot of fiat, and we know that the U.S. is continuously printing the Federal Reserve note, and we know anytime that happens in governments and society, that's when things fall. So things like your essentials, your toilet paper, actually is going up. The prices is going up for that. Um, your oil, gas, all of these things, your essentials, water, food, all of that stuff is going up. So we told you before, it's best to start stocking up now, while you still have, while the fiat has some type of value, so that you can be able to use it to get those essentials now, versus when you're not going to be able to use the fiat because it's going to lose its value altogether. And you're not going to be able to actually get those essentials. So stock up now, get that stuff now. And if not, then you'll just be stuck and doing what other people in the major cities is going to be doing, is looting and trying to rob other people for their stuff. Also want to talk about how the Corona update, give you some statistics. This is basically the CDC's reporting, and the U.S. just released a report on their statistics for the COVID. So nearly 1/3 of all official coronavirus deaths in the U.S. came from nursing home residents. This is what they're saying. So that's less than 1% of Americans that's domiciling in nursing homes and other long-term care facilities. So that's literally 1/3. And this is according to the analysis conducted from the COVID tracking project that was launched by the Atlantic. And basically what they're saying is that 551,747 people in the country who supposedly died from the COVID vaccine, they actually were nursing home residents. So again, the agenda to take out the elderly. We also seen from the there was a study that was conducted from, it's called fiery air bust. It's a super hot gas that crashed into the Antarctic millions of years ago, but it's having a large impact on our environment today. And researchers and scientists environmentalists have been studying this, and they have actually found that from this big ball of hot gas, it actually is emitting things into the environment. The researchers found this strange looking mineral, and it turned out to be micrometeorites. And it was extremely tiny, but it was the size of dust particles. And from this, they started to study the composition of these dust particles, and they started to confirm and class it under CI chondrites. Okay, and basically this was confirming their samples that they were taking from these tests done on the asteroid material, that this came from another world. This was an extraterrestrial substance, and the main substance that they found in it was nickel. Okay, and basically that's not what they call natural to Earth's crust, and that's only because they cannot. They're fairly new to the planet. But basically a team, they start to research and start, compile the data for what they got. And this substance is literally has the ability to vaporize into a cloud. Okay. And it becomes meteorite gas. Okay. And this is affecting the atmosphere, which is partly why Bill Gates is starting his Space Corps. Okay, he's been starting that to block the sun and ramp up the chemtrails to block the sun, and we'll get more into that. But these particles is actually very toxic, okay, and harmful. And the whole goal is to seize this, but it then vaporizes. So that's a real tough challenge for environmentalists. Hence the need why we need to get back in power, so we can, use our great scientific minds to, take control over the agriculture departments and things of that nature, so that we can continue to be good trustees over our planet, which is our birthright and our inheritance. And of course, there's been a lot of distractions with Joe Biden. Joe Biden had used 10 million Federal Reserve notes worth of ad campaigns to push the coronavirus vaccine propaganda. So he also used a lot of this finance to push the mask contest. Okay, and they did this on April 1st, so you could say this is a April Fool's joke or not, but basically they've been spending, printing, and with this mass printing, they've been using the finance to, or wasting a Federal Reserve note, quote unquote, which is actually not backed by gold or silver. They've been using all of this funds to push the agenda for the vaccines, when the CDC just recently put out a report saying that if you get the vaccine, you once you get it, you are immune, and you don't have to worry about ever getting the COVID again, and you won't be affected. And so that brings the question: if that's the case, and if that's true, then why do those people who get the vaccine need to wear a mask? And if the people who are wearing a mask and the vaccine allegedly supposed to work, then why do they need to wear a mask, and why do they need to be standing 6 feet away from each other? So it's posing a lot of questions that is common sense. And he just pushed this new, he's trying to push this new infrastructure plan. Okay, so with that, that's going to be, of course, a opportunity for him to try to reboot the economy that that is going down. And we can look to the stock market. We can look to all of the different signs that's current, with the current printing and the rising in the precious metals or essentials. The industry, again, is being destroyed. So if there's no labor market, then that's the end of the halt of a civilization. And that's what's actually taking place. So moving forward, let's look at some other stuff that was discovered. We have a lot of people right now that's on this planet that's destroying this planet. There was a report in 2019 about the light pollution, and this light pollution was leading different insects and bugs towards the light, and it was actually killing them off. And they did a study since 2019. They've been conducting studies to figure out why were the bugs and insects so attracted to this light. And this was in near the Las Vegas territory. They've been conducting this study to see why is it so, why are the bugs so attracted to this light, and why are they being killed once they go to this light. And they discovered that there's an artificial light that is looming from not just the cell phone companies that are using the cell towers, but they're actually polluting the environment with the artificial light. And that's having an effect not only on the insects, but on our people as well, humans, okay? Because they're emitting radiation from these artificial lights. And a lot of times, like the lights on your cell phones and stuff like that, the flashlights, a part of that artificial light under those artificial rays, these are the things that are destroying the cells, okay, and warming up the cells like a microwave. So they conducted this study to see how it affects humans. And of course, you know that those who want to erase humanity, they took this study, and this is what was part of their foundation for the 5G, okay, and bringing in 6G too soon. So They also noticed from the light pollution that um, it had a special effect on the behavior of grasshoppers. And the behavioral changes from the grasshoppers was due to the light pollution, and that uh, led to extinction of several insects. Okay, and it's the same thing that is bound to happen to us with those who are in power, who are mistreating this planet, Gaia. So um, let's also talk about the effects what's taking place with nature. There's a study that's being conducted right now. It's called Wormnado, and Wormnado is basically from a woman who was outside, and this was happening actually last week, and there was a storm in the New York territory area, and this storm uh, had an effect on the ants, and the ants started to form a circle, and they started to formulate a circle in a tornado type of pattern. And this, they never seen anything like this before. And this was a way for the ants to start to protect themselves. But from this study that they started to conduct from it to see why, they know that ants breathe through their skin, but they're also seeing the effects of this light pollution, this artificial light pollution that's taking place, and it's having on the ants. Okay. And so when you throw off the insects, you throw off the food chain, you throw off the environment. And this is a part of Bill Gates and Melinda Gates' plan. If you all know anything about what they're doing as far as let me just go to one of them. What they're planning on doing is, let's see if I can pull it up for y'all. They are planning on controlling the climate, and they call it geoengineering project. But this is it actually shouldn't be called that. A few months ago, the Swedish corporation and government decided to go along with the Bill and Melinda Gates geoengineering plan. They got into it, and then they noticed that what was the true implications of this plan, and they realized if they keep going, they're going to be close to wipe out all of humanity. So the Swedish government or corporation decided to stop the geoengineering plan with Gates, and that was a real good thing because they would have literally been trying to wipe us out with the sun dimming. They started on they started with the sun dimming balloon test. So when they started with that, they started to notice the effects that it was having on a minute level. So they decided to stop the Scope X. If you look it up, it's called Scope X. That's the name of the project that Bill and Melinda Gates was using software to try to block the sun, the rays of the sun. And again, the sun is very important, not just to our people, but to the entire planet, because everything thrives off the sun. Everything literally is governed by the sun. The sun gives us energy, gives us life. It sustains us. It gives us warmth. It's everything that we need. And this is actually something that we used to worship called sun worship. And the dark priesthood had took that over, and they keep remnants of this, and they keep the symbology. And like if you go to a church, they tell people not to worship the sun, but they'll keep fire or light always burning on altars and stuff like that. If you go to those type of churches, or if you go to a mosque, they always keep the light lit, or a synagogue and things of that nature. So they have taken the sun worship away, and they introduced something new to control the masses. But what Bill Gates is trying to do is, again, take out the sun. And we know that we go as a people, but the things that existed or coexisted with us when we was first here on this planet. And some say even before us was the natural resources of the land. So when you stop that, you basically you're gonna kill civilization. So the Swedish government stopped it, and then when they looked deeper into this, there was a reindeer herdsman. Okay, these were herders of reindeers that was actually the natural people of the land, which gave them the red light to stop. So they had more authority than a so-called corporation. And let's look at the let's see. As far as China, definitely gotta be aware they're making huge splashes, big moves. They are literally setting themselves up to be number one in the world. With going into Africa, they are going into Africa to do business and trade all around the world and that continent. Again, the European powers are falling, and because they're falling, you have a lot of people that are it's like another scramble for Africa, the continent, again, because it produces a lot of natural resources. And right now, Africa, again, they're trying to build their unions to unify their wealth of that land, and so that they can start prospering from all of these different agreements and trade going on, instead of being ripped off and being left with nothing but producing mining the natural resources, and they don't benefit from it. You have China right now setting themselves up to actually be the world power and have a large portion over Africa, the continent's resource, as well as India. And there are several African president leaders that are actually saying that they don't want any loans from China or India, that they don't need them, or they don't need any assistance or help from the European powers. So they're actually going to be bringing in and producing their own labor markets. So, but China right now is actually creating, or have created, because anytime it's out now, that means they already have it, their own version of the hybrid. Okay, the hybrid chimpanzee monkey that we created when we first created the Albions. They have made hybrid human monkeys. They mixed them, and the face of this project is to say that we're building this so that we can use these beings for organ transplants and things of that nature. But we know that it goes deeper than that. So they are using that whole project as a front to something else that they're actually doing and preparing for. So just want to put that one there. Let's see what else today there was an attack outside of the Capitol. Okay, and they're trying to again keep people distracted with the psyops. They're saying that this brother who murdered someone and injured another policy enforcer, they're trying to say that he was under the Nation of Islam, and continue to keep this quote unquote African American versus Asian American thing going on. So you can be blinded and not see that we need to come together right now against the globalists, the powers that be. So this whole Asian American thing again is a ploy, and it's pushed really hard. And so again, they're going to try to use this, what the brother did, to continue to push this ploy. The Florida governor, he just made a strong deal with the vaccine companies. And with this deal, he is literally selling out the people of Florida. So you just got to be mindful of, what these people who claim to be in power are doing behind closed doors. Good news, the Texas governor decided to go ahead and go against the whole big tech companies with censorship. So they are trying to pass a um, bill that will allow everyone to continue to say whatever they want and not be censored. And then after that, if they do get censored, then again they can invoke the power of suing. But when you sue someone, you must be in your proper person. So a lot of times when our people go to sue someone, they go hire a lawyer or an attorney or esquire, which are members of the bar, and they don't have any allegiance to the people. Their allegiance is to uh, the bar itself, okay, and then to the public, and then to you, okay. So you're not their first priority, and that's under Corpus Juris Secundum, Volume 7, and you can look that up. So there was also shooting, what they called a mass shooting. Only 4 was shot, but they call it a mass shooting in California today. And again, they're trying to go back to the whole Muslim American thing where they're terrorists and things like that. So they continue to push the same narrative, only to keep our people distracted from the corporation falling. Right now, again, you have a Joe Biden, who is a face of the globalist elite that's really trying to take over power on this land once again. And we have to, again, assert our claim through the power of nationhood. So this is what's going on. And let's talk about Joe Biden, because, he just fell again up the steps. Let's talk about what he planned on doing. Uh, he plans on um, going higher on taxes. Okay, so not just for um, individuals, but also on an increase on those who have businesses. Um, there's a talk about student debt and education forgiveness or forbearance plan. You got to be careful anytime that they're sending you finance and giving you finances and forgiveness and things of that nature. You always say in lieu of lawful money, because we know that they're not giving you any loan. They never put the physical amount that they claim in your hand. So this is why we always say in lieu of in law, because they never gave it to you, which you're holding them reliable for. So right now, this is affecting the Mexico and U.S. trade, because Mexico and the U.S. Are doing business. They're going. Remember, we was using the Mexican Pedro dollar. We're going back to that. Really, some people never left that. They've been stealing our natural resources, and this is actually affecting that trade. So, and this actually goes back to the treaty. So, we're going to be going back to the way we used to do things. So it's best now that you get your precious metals and silvers. Even if you can't get your hands on the gold and silver, try to get junk silver. Because again, everything that's continuously going up means that this is a bubble effect. So something's going to bust pretty soon. In North Korea, they just launched 2 ballistic missiles. And if you know anything about the Security Council, then they already said that they only want 5 nations to have control over that missile launching, and they just launched 2 as a test. Okay, so you see what things can head. You have the China trade agreements. All of the Asian nations are teaming up. All of the African nations are teaming up, except for our people here in the Americas. We're the only ones that's not teaming up. We have a lot of different factions and different uh, organizations, but we are still distracted and fighting against amongst each other, amongst ourselves, and we don't get it yet. The rest of the world knows what's going on as far as the European powers falling. It seems like we're the only ones who don't get it. and we see everyone creating unions, creating their own nations, United Nations, things of that nature, except for us. And it's the time to be doing that. So when we look at this China trade agreement, again, they're doing what Africa did in the beginning of 2021 with their African Union, and they started to um, put the program in place to restore their continent and the natural resources so they can start to benefit from it. Um, and one thing that was found from the Suez Canal, I know that you all have been hearing information on the Suez Canal, um, but just one move like that, them going so fast, the actual navigator of that ship was actually going so fast in that small zone, actually was able to stop industry, stop trade. Okay, and was losing billions of notes every day that it sat there. So this is important for everyone to know that with this labor market being slowed down and eventually it's shutting down. You're seeing it, you're witnessing it right now being slowed down and taken apart. It's best to get your essentials, and I keep repeating that because some people they think it's one of those Y2K things again. So, but this is, you actually see what's happening, and the Europeans are losing their power. So, if they are controlling this land, and they are the powers over this land, and they're losing their power, it's time for us to step up and wake up. Um, do anybody want to jump in right now?
Islam.
Islam.
Yeah, I just wanted to get in here and I just wanted to add on to what you were saying as far as our people not getting it yet. We're not getting it yet. Do
Mm-hmm.
y'all? I mean, we've been, and I hate to be redundant and continue to repeat the same thing over and over again, but I have to put things in the proper context. All right, we've been fighting this fight as quote unquote black Negroes, colors, African Americans, Indians, whatever you want to call them. We've been fighting this fight. What remedy or what have we gotten out of the civil rights era, out of the Black Nationalist Party, the Black Panthers, even the Nation of Islam?
Mm-hmm.
What remedy have we gotten? Because it seems like we still waiting on something or somebody to come save us.
Mm-hmm.
When the only thing that can save us is ourselves. I want to go into just a little history. I just wanted to go into a little history about who we are, and this is what we should have pride in. Not what they put us, not the brands and the labels they put on us, but historically who we are. Now I'm coming out of Moore's Mobile and Man, Reflection and Redemption, compiled by Bandel El Amin. Okay, the earliest people in the Americas were people of the Nigeric African race who entered the Americas perhaps as near early as 100,000 years ago by way of the Bering Strait, and about 30,000 years ago in a worldwide maritime undertaking that included journeys from the then wet and lake-filled Sahara towards the Indian Ocean and the Pacific, and from West Africa across the Atlantic Oceans towards the Americas. Meaning that we were already here. We were already on this landmass. We was on this landmass before there was colonialists, before there was any Europeans over here. We was already over here establishing trade and all that. What they say, 30,000 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
not including the 100,000 years ago that we was already on this landmass. So take that into context of how great we are. The ancient kingdoms of West Africa, which occupied the coastal forest belt from Cameroon to Guinea, had trading relationships with other Africans dating back to prehistoric times. However, by 1500 BC, these ancient kingdoms not only traded along the Ivory Coast, but with the Phoenicians and other peoples, Moors. They expanded their trades to the Americas, where the evidence for an ancient African presence is overwhelming. The kingdoms which came to be known by Arabs and Europeans during the Middle Ages were already well established when much of Western Europe was still inhabited by Celtic tribes. By the 5th century BC, the Phoenicians were running commercial ships to several West African kingdoms. During that period, iron had been used for about 1,000 years, and terracotta art was being produced at a great levels of craftsmanship. Stone was also being carved and with naturalistic perfection, and later, bronze was being used to make various tools and instruments, as well as beautifully naturalistic works of art. The Amaru Washita Moors were originally a group of priests from Kemet, also known as the Dogon and Olmecs. Now, we heard a lot about the Dogons and we heard a lot about the Olmecs, but what y'all know about the Washita Moors? When they are direct descendants of these great Olmecs and Dogons. We are the Washita Moors. We are those people. We have that bloodline within us. But yet we separate ourselves due to classism that these Europeans want to place and put on us. I ain't gonna even call them Europeans because they're not even the real Europeans. They're Albions, hybrids. All right. So the main thing that we should be really focusing on right now in this day and age is nationalism, coming together as a people, not coming together to fight whitey. That's stupid. We don't have ballistic missiles. We don't have tanks. We don't have enough gold. We don't have enough wealth to fight a war. The war we need to fight is the war within self. That's the most important war that we have to fight is with the self, and the self is you first. Retraining your mind and re-educating yourself as to who you are on this world stage. You are not a nigger, you are not a Negro, you are not black, you are not colored, you are not African American. You are noble. You come from a great bloodline. You come from a great stock that's been on this planet since it's been seeded, so ancient that there is no birth record. Now let me continue with this. The term Washita is a derivative of the Urashita, the mother of the mystics. In Kemetic, Urashita is Urashet, the winged sun disk, which symbolizes the pineal gland being open. Amaru is derived from Amaru, which is the root word for America. America equals Almaracan equals Almarak equals Amenraka. Master Masons were aware of the knowledge of pre-colonial America. And I'm gonna stop right there with that. And have y'all ever stopped to wonder where the word or the name of this country come from when they say America? Have you ever stopped to think about that? Okay, I'm gonna get off into a little bit of it right here, coming out of Isami, the Great Masonic Secrets and Master Keys by Michal Talib Mahfouz El Bey. Great book. Y'all need to get it. These are some of the names of America. Amexum means mixing, hence why America is considered the great melting pot. Mu, mother unity. Marak, Maghreb as Asa, Aqsa equals most extreme west. Al Marak, Northwest, Southwest Africa, North Central and South America. America is the prefix for Amexem and the suffix for Africa, Am, America, Rica, Rica, Rick. America equals Al Marak. American equals Al Moroccan. Al Moroccan equals Moorish American. Moors are descendants of Moroccans and born in America, hence the word Al Moroccan. Commonly used word white as applied to European is the political caste label and not a pedigree name, title, appellation, or attribute. The Whig Party, which was the red people, Redskins, as colonizing Europeans calling themselves prior to 1854, adopted the word white people party in Philadelphia. With the 1854 to 1863 Emancipation Proclamation. This must be known and understood by all Moors when making any serious social or political communications. These actual facts must always be considered and factored into all civic activities. They will prove invaluable as Moors address politics, economics, social change, fraudulent voting rights, and benefits. Remember, all political activities and benefits are measured by status first, your nationality, and legal standards, and all lawful and legal procedures. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there and let anybody that wanna interject on that, you know what I'm saying, feel free to. But the thing I'm saying is this, and I'm gonna stop right here. We gotta come together, y'all. We gotta stop all this excuse my language, bullshitting around, thinking that we got another 10 years to get this shit right. No, we don't. We gotta start working at it actively every day. Somehow, some way, we have to work towards it actively every day. Meaning, we can't keep going buying Nikes. We can't keep going buying these labels and brands. Now, I heard somebody talk about we should stop using all these names and labels for each other, and I kind of agree. But before you can do that, you got to stop wearing all these names and labels and brands that these people keep putting on you. And I digress. Islam.
Islam, exactly. And you hit the head, you hit the nail on the head with the status piece, because again, all of these actions that was done to the people at Northwest of Maxim, this territory, was done to take them out of their status politically, and then from there, that gives the colonizers a way to use your political status and go around the world in your name, doing things in the name of you, and people think that you are Negro, Black, and colored, and they take on the adoption of the title or the name American. And this is why they've been putting a lot of these psyops in your faces to get you to hate other people that they hate, so that you can go back into this European's army to fight for him. Um, they are trying to stir up again the Asian American versus African American, quote unquote. We're not African Americans, but for those who think they are, they get emotionally charged, and then when they want to put you in um, that mindset, then you want to take action, and you'll remember that when they make your conditions worse on this land, then you want to run to the colonizer's army, and then you go to fight against your brothers and sisters from the east, and not realize that we are one people. The newest people on this land or this planet is the ones who that you're working for, that's oppressing you. So this is the common trend that continues to happen, and that's kind of what they're doing now, trying to stir our people up to get them to hate the ones that they hate, so that you can go fight for them and fight against your brothers and sisters. Now, of course, I know that they do our people wrong. We even see it. There's an article that came out the Chinese was stealing the minerals from one of the African countries, and because they were stealing, they got caught, and then because of the corruption from the African leaders, they was able to uh, make a deal with them to take their stuff. Okay, so this is pretty much what we've been seeing: leaders, spineless leaders who don't have any backbones and always want to step up and speak for our people across the globe. And there's a new era, and we need to start having our people, our young leaders and new leaders rise up to start speaking and taking action. Not looking for a savior, but because all of us need to, become leaders in our own right. So that's what's actually taking place across the world. So your status is very important. I seen somebody put in the chat when we say Moorish, are we saying Blackish? This goes back to status, knowing your standing in law, knowing who you are linguistically. Um, when you say black, and black is an adjective in language, and more is a noun, those are two different things. So more cannot mean black. Black cannot mean more. The definition of black literally means to burn up. Like if I was to take a napkin, and if I was to burn it up and it becomes white, okay, that's what the definition of black means. The denotative, the actual real meaning, when they first penned that definition, it means to burn, to shine, pale, on fire. That's what black means. And more, when you look at more, some people trace it to the Latin, and they don't go far enough, because when you trace it further than the Latin, it goes to the ancient Berber languages. Okay, and more literally in different languages means land. Okay, and there's moors all over the land. So literally, when you're talking about land or Earth's resources, you can't say anything without mentioning the Moors, because that's what it means. Even when you look in law, Moor literally means land and law. So we come from the land. So when we say more-ish, ish again is an adjective. And because ish is an adjective, it means that which pertains to. Okay. So Moorish, things that pertain to the Moors. Okay. So that's what that means. And when we say Al Moroccan, you're talking about the ancient terms for what they call America, because we know that America is a transliteration of those words that the brother mentioned earlier. Okay, so that's pretty much the breakdown of that. And it goes back to that status. Like, it's very important to look at your status. There was a brother named Bakari Henderson, okay, from Austin. He actually went overseas, to Greece, and he carried a blue passport. Okay, his status was Negro, black, colored, and he was taking selfies and everything like that. And these two Grecians got upset, and they ended up murdering him. They actually won their case against him because his status in law, even over in Greece, okay, because status applies to the entire world. So that's what actually took place. So even if you call yourself black and you travel, the status still apply, because Dred Scott is used all over the world. Okay.
Islam.
Islam.
I just want to address a question from this guy somebody named Jim. They say, are the only black people of USA Moors? What about the Caribbean and South American, or even Polynesian and micro Indonesia, New Guinea, etc., Australia, etc.? I could answer that. They are Moors.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the Philippines and Malaysia, they actually make their status that they are Moors. I think that's in Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. They actually say they are Moors.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So we the only ones that's not getting it. I mean, everybody else get it. Everybody else get it. And I want to go into something before you get, after you get done, brother. I want to actually go into jurisprudence of political status and status categories and things of that nature. So the people can have an understanding of what we're talking about when we're talking about status and jurisprudence and um nationality and using these certain type of labels on ourselves and how it keeps us out of this color of law, pretty much Islam.
Islam, right? Yeah, you could go into it. Definitely want to share that with everyone. And look at someone brought up Amerigo Vespucci. If you do your real scholarship and research, you'll find that he was a fictitious person. He never really existed. No continent is named after a European man. So that was a way to keep people separated from the true chronology of time. So yeah, you can go right into it more.
Political status. Political status has been a topic that has been vaguely addressed in the status in the study of jurisprudence. Yet it is the first issue at law that must be addressed or considered nationally or internationally. Why have the scholars of why have the scholars of jurisprudence not addressed the profound importance that political status plays in national and international law? Why have they not addressed the corporate status of the Moors, not labeled or classified as black, Negro, colored, African, etc., and the legal significance these slave brands have in national and international law? A careful examination of political status will give the Moors who have these brand names the inner and understanding of the importance of nationality and the danger and law of using these chattel brands as identities. Political status is the categorization of citizenship, non-citizenship, social position, or rank in a society with direct effect in relationship to rights, immunities, and privileges. It is the first issue at law that must be addressed or considered nationally or internationally. The following categories determine the status of the people, persons, and what laws apply in that society. The status categories are nobility, sovereign, free white person, foreign national, foreign subject, resident alien, non-resident alien, 14th Amendment, artificial person. Nobility, sovereign, free white person. Nobility. Moors are the nobles of North, South, and Central America, Al-Maroc, and the adjoining islands by hereditary birthrights. This type of caste system, which is based on hereditary birthright, was developed by the Moors. The Albion, European, Romans, red man changed this caste system to a class system which is based on wealth and hidden in codes, black and white, implying colors when they conquered the Moors, thus usurping the hereditary nobility. Ali, El, Bey, Al, and Dey are the Moorish noble titles to the lands North, South, and Central America. These titles of nobility are the only lawful titles to the land. They are the titles of honor and nobility that are referred to in the Constitution of the United States of America, that they're contracted citizens. Albion Romans and males cannot claim and remain a citizen of the USA. If so, they will be in violation of law and no longer remain a contracted citizen of the United States of America. The original Article 13 that the English sociologists and social engineers now exclude from the common civic literature for the masses states this point of law. Sovereign. Moors are the sovereign body that is referred to as we the people in the preamble of the Constitution of the United States of America. Moors are the true national sovereigns of the Great Seal Continental United States of Federal Republic. Sovereigns have supreme political authority. We the nobles are the primitive aboriginal people of the land. Moors have all the benefits and rights to the land. And the reason why we don't have this right to the land, because we're calling ourselves out of our proper person. We call ourselves Black, Negro, because we call ourselves everything else except who we is. And the minute that we rise up and come together and nationalize ourselves under our birthright, God-given, freehold state status from birthright and hereditary, from magenta status, who we are, they can't help but to recognize it because it's already written into their laws and inside of these treaties that I'm about to pull up in a minute. There are treaties that was enacted in the 1600s, like in 1666 and 1662, that these treaties are enacted forever. They did a hell of a job on this thing. But let me continue. And let me simplify it, though. I'm going to simplify it so I won't be all day. Simplify it so I won't be all night. Because I know I don't want to be all night. Because I'll be all night. Okay. There are 4 types of citizenship. The national, the highest rank of citizenship, the natural people of the land, the aboriginal and indigenous people. 2, the citizen, the naturalized citizen, not nationalized, naturalized. And Black people can't get naturalized based upon the Dred Scott decision. So we can't get naturalized. We can't be citizens of the United States of America. We can't, because we can't be citizens. All right. So we can't be naturalizing something that we're not a part of. Period. That's not our government. That's a de facto government. But how they flipped it on us, they had us call ourselves this right here. Subject. This is where the corporation rests, including corporate persons, Negro, colored, Black, etc. Those are corporate color brands that they put on our people. So when you get a social security card and the birth certificate, and you know what I'm saying, you're already labeled and branded as that, and you're already a slave to the system. Even if your mama and your daddy didn't know it, they knew it. They know who you was. The people that's instituting these laws and these dictums, they know who you are. So they like, let's push this paperwork on. All right. And the last one is alien, the foreigner who remains as such and is clothed with certain rights of citizenship, as is the citizen and the subject, and they can be unclothed, rights versus privileges. Now, they can have the same rights of citizenship as the citizen of the subject, but they can't have the same rights as the national. Just like you got all these illegal aliens, these Mexicans coming over the border. They can come over here, they can work, they can get paid, they can do all that. But you know what? They can't own no land, they can't get no house. You know what I'm saying? They can't, it's certain things that they can't do. Okay, the only people who have the sovereign power and authority to nationalize their country, state, resources, land, etc., is the national, which is you, which is y'all, which is us. We can do it if we come together as a nation of people. We can't do it as splinter groups. We can't do it as separate pieces of sticks on the ground being scattered. The only way we can do it is coming together being a bunch of sticks that can't be broken. From the above, which class of citizen are you? No. AA 222141 A1 citizen with a permanent character comes from the USC Codes, United States Codes, Title 141, Chapter 2, Section 141 to 143. It references the highest rank of citizen. Okay? And with that being said, I will relinquish the mic. Islam.
Islam, I just wanted to say something. I want everybody in the chat to understand that when you hear Noble Isaiah speak on nationalization, it is the key component to all the answers as a people, for one. And another thing is I really want to touch on, because it's been bothering me, and I said I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you come and get nationalized and you come to the classes and so on, please do not branch off to other Moors and thinking that they're going to give you the answers and try to give you paperwork. And the paperwork is not accurate. You can set yourself up. Okay, I really want to put that out there, because we done have numerous people that come on board and try to go and find a quick and easy way out. Okay, there's already a blueprint out there that's been put in front of us. If you come on board, you go through the screening process, all the above. Please don't try to do the okey doke and think you can go ahead and slip through cracks. I really want to put that out there. Please don't think you can slip through the cracks and think, like, if I okey doke and, excuse my language, I really want to say excuse my language, don't think you can nigger rig stuff. Okay, it don't work that way. You can't do it. I really want to put that out there, because you get yourself hemmed up on there, and then you're gonna be doing the woe is me and hoping that Jesus can come save your ass. Okay, I'm putting it out there for real. It really annoys me when I see our brothers come on here and try to tell everybody how to do things, what to do, and then when you hop on board, you try to find the easy way out. Our people are always known to try to find the easy way out of things. And when they do, if you remember those so-called slave movies, it took that one person out he could or she could get their way out. They said, well, if I go ahead and go do a shortcut, I can make it. Then turn around, you get hemmed up and you get hung. Okay, please, whatever you have to take in this process to make it to where you gotta go, please listen to the brothers on the panel. Please listen to Noble Isaiah and when he give the classes. Please listen to Noble North. I'm just here as a supporting cast of my brothers, because I'm getting tired of people think they can go through stuff by thinking there's shortcuts to it, and it's really not. Stop falling for the illusions, which is dealing with your mind playing tricks on you, ghetto boys. For real, like this is not a joke. I mean, literally, you see out there smiling. You see he's smiling because he knows I'm telling the truth. And you see, Noof had took his mic off of mute.
Yeah,
Brothers
because I
really
wanted to
care.
jump in. I wanted to jump in for a minute. You know, I wanted to agree with you 100%. Because there was a brother that, you know, I've been knowing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? When me and my empress used to do our spirituality groups, we had a group, Facebook group, you know what I'm saying, and we used to do spirituality class, not classes, but group networking, you know what I'm saying? And this brother, he went and got his nationality. This brother, he asked a question about something pertaining to allodial, something about allodial, you know what I'm saying? And the person that he's a part of, they blocked him. And I'm up here talking to him like, okay, well, brother, check this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you this email address. Come on over there to our classes, and you know what I'm saying? Not to recruit you, just come on over. We welcome everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just come on over, and you know, he a very intelligent brother, so I don't even see how he got hemmed up. That's what I'm saying. Our people want remedy so bad that anybody they see out here that's willing to get them a little whatever. You know, I wish I had my wallet. Do I got my wallet so I could give y'all a proper representation of how and what should be on your nationality card. And just bear with me, y'all, because it's very important. It's very important that okay. Y'all see that there? That's according to the Zodiac Constitution, our birthright. That's proper. That's how it's supposed to look. Supposed to have your risings, the zodiac wheel. That's what we represent here. The Great Seal. You see that Great Seal? That's ours. You see them flags? That's ours. That's not the Star Spangled Banner right there. That's something else. That's for another lesson. But this is the proper way that you identify. You see what that say? Moorish Zodiac Constitution National Identification Card. All right? This is proper. This is proper. Not this other stuff these people be, man, I ain't even about to get into it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And go ahead, B Forte.
I mean, no, Islam noble. It's just that it really frustrates me because now noble North always showed he showed his card before, okay, and I really want to let everybody know that's listening, please. Once you join and you get a screen, you get all of this. Please don't try to do some goddamn shortcuts. I mean, really, because there's no shortcuts to this. You have to know how to defend yourself in law from these policy enforcers. One, and then you got to deal with these fake judges. Okay, you got to know how to really defend yourself out here, because a lot of these people that claim that they have the answers, they really don't have the answers, and they are looking to make a quick buck. Okay, they really are out here trying to do that. And then you have people that's trying to set you up for failure. This is why our brothers always try to come on the panel to give these lessons real quick and brief to let everybody know, hey, you have what you consider unrighteous Moors out here. Okay? Some call them dirty, but we call them unrighteous. Okay? We really want to help out our people, but it's like you have to follow the procedures and listen and follow simple directions. That is what's plaguing our people. And I'm gonna say it again. We all saw in these so-called slave movies, you always had that hard-headed one or two that got together. We gonna get out of here because Master, he think he got us, but we got the heads up on Master right now. You with me on this? Yeah, I'm with you, Cleavers. I'm with you. And next thing you know, them two, they get forward and they got another dumb. You know what I'm saying? Then they got another dumb, and they think they're gonna get a shortcut. Next thing you know, they cutting through the daggone fields, and they think they going to the promised land. Next thing you know, here come the goddamn policy enforcers with the shotgun. Where y'all niggas going at? And then they're like, oh man, then what happened? They had to get hungry to get shot at. I'm telling you, there's no shortcuts here. Please don't fall for the okie doke. We done seen plenty of mothers and sons/fathers that got caught up in trying to find a shortcut. Period. And then when you get hummed up, guess who you try to call? You try to call the brothers on the panel, but mainly the brother Isaiah. I try to call him like, hey, Mo, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in here. I'm been captured.
Yeah.
And he been telling you to follow simple directions, and you still want to find a shortcut. There's no shortcut in this. And I'm speaking with passion because I'm frustrated because we always keep on coming across these particular people. Yes, we come across those people that I just now mentioned. We're going to find a way, Master. We're going to get out of Master's way. We're going to go ahead over here. We're going to make it to the promised lands. And then what happened?
Somebody was asking about the classes. I'm gonna put the emails inside of the chat. So if anybody wanna attend the classes, Trish Hawkins, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it really is like the brothers come with the information. I'm just coming with some real like passion because it's like I get frustrated when I hear brothers just dropping gems, and then we get people to come in and then they go through the whole process and they still try to think they can Jimmy drink their way through the whole process by getting with Moors that want you for your with so-called Moors that get you for your money, and then you expect brothers to try to get you out of the situation that you put yourself in. You got to use your higher self. You also got to use your intuition. If something don't sound right to you, don't do it. Don't do it. Because I'm telling you, it's so many brothers that mothers and brothers that Isaiah talked to on the phone that get detained. And the first thing he be trying to figure out how the hell you get detained and you was doing in the classes. I mean, literally, how? Because you know why? You thought, well, if I go ahead and do this shortcut, I can make it all out of here and I can get all my land, I can get all this money, I can go ahead and I can impress this girl up the street. Well, I can impress my girlfriends right there, Shanae and Shaquanda and them. I can do that. And then you get hemmed up. And Shanae and them and Shaquanda and them like, damn, girl, what happened? I was trying to do a shortcut. Well, I thought you taking them classes. Yeah, but I stopped listening. I thought if I go this way, I can make it. No, you get hemmed up and you get caught up. Then you got to make phone calls, crying, trying to figure out what you did wrong. You wasn't listening. This is a process. Processes are made to what? Not speed up, but make sure you have to what? Go with the flow. Be patient. It's all patience and it's all about following simple directions. Period. And everybody on this panel know our people some hard-headed mofos. And I want to say shout out to Shay Marie. Shout out, mother, to you. She's one of the mothers that know and has seen it with her own eyes too. Me and her talk. Nobody's there spoke to her. And nobody spoke to her. B Miles spoke to her. We know what's going on out here. There's many others that's in the panel that actually spoke to us. I mean, not the panel that in the chat that spoke to us. Brothers are very passionate about this. Nobody's has been going through a lot with phone calls. It's times that me and him don't even talk, and he don't even talk to Noof. And because he always talking to people either detained, they didn't follow simple directions. You see shaking his head like, he's smiling because he know. It's like all day, every day. It's like we trying to let everybody know this is serious. In order to get out the matrix, it's a process. You got to start with yourself first. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for that pill to take? Or you want to stay in the matrix? Because there's no easy way out. You got to go through all of the cracks and the holes just to make it and make sure that you come to the full surface of things. You cannot find no shortcuts in this. I'm telling you. I seen it. Noble seen it. Noof seen it. B Mouse seen it. The brothers that be on the panel with us all the time, they seen it. We all shake our heads when we see that somebody getting detained because they ain't follow directions. Okay, I really want to put that out there. Be careful with these people that think they can help you. And you have brothers on this panel right now that's bringing forth, hey, this is where you can go at right here. But you have to have patience on listening and following the most simplest directions.
Islam.
If you can't Islam, go ahead, more.
I was just going to jump in and say right quick, and the best way possible that we can actually do this stuff and do it and make it happen is if we together as a nation. We can't do it as individuals because when you do it as individuals, you get caught up and you don't have no proper representation. You don't have, because inside of a nation, you have different chambers. You have those that's good at laws and jurisprudence. You have, you got those that good at finance. You got those that good at military. You got your cabinet. You got different type of departments inside your nation that deals with certain things. Okay, so if you go out here, I don't care how smart you is, how much you know, you go out here by yourself, you gonna get jammed up. They gonna jam you up, they gonna cut you up. Sometimes you can't, I ain't gonna say you can't, but sometimes it's not wise to go into battle alone. It's certain people that actually is more proficient in certain areas of jurisprudence and law than you are. You know what I'm saying? You may know a little stuff, you may know the A, B, and C's, but you don't know enough to get you out of some real heavy jam when the government got billions of dollars to fight against you, and you might have only $10,000 in a pro bono attorney, or even yourself representing yourself, and they're gonna bleed you. So it's important, what I'm saying, that sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut, make your phone call to your people. Yo, I'm here. This is the case, and things will get handled. That's if you're in the nation. But if you just out here doing it willy-nilly by yourself, you're gonna be detained, and they're gonna be shooting stuff up in you, and they're gonna put that Thorazine in you, and you're gonna be in the military, start drooling and pooping on yourself. So just keep that in mind. I'm just trying to keep it light. You know what I'm saying? But it is serious, man. We gotta do things. We gotta move as a nation to get nation things done. We have to move as a collective of people. And it's time out for this separation. And I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. We all suffering from the same problems with no remedy. So if we able to come together for that, for this one simple thing, come together so we can get unity for our people as a whole, for future generations. You know what I'm saying? That would be good enough if we focus on our great-grandchildren and how they were going to look 30, 40, maybe 50 years from now. And that's what we got to think about. Islam,
yeah. And I just want to, you showed like a nationality card. And let me we already went over this before, but just to go with what you showed, this is from 1508. First of all, justice.gov, Department of Justice Archives. This is on the Criminal Resource Manual. This is from Title 18, United States Code, subsection 1028. And the specific section is 1508, specifically mentioned identification documents. 18 USC 1028, Section 1028 of Title 18 designates 3 special non-federal identification documents and gives them preferred treatment. Okay, like preferred, when you prefer something over another thing, this is what they're talking about. These 3 documents, in the absence of a national identity card. So these 3 documents, in the absence of a national identity card. So if Negro, Black, Colored, African American are not national identities, then you got to ask yourself, what is your national identity? And why don't Negro, Black, Colored, African American have national identity cards? It says these 3 documents, in the absence of a national identity card, are the prime means by which an individual establishes his identity in the United States. So if you don't have a nationality card, there's 3 documents that they're saying you use to establish your identity in the United States. And when you're in the United States, that means you're in their corporation. Because according to Title 28, the United States Service Corporation is a company. It's a business. It's not an actual government, nor is it an actual land. The 3 documents are A, birth certificate, B, driver's license, C, personal identification card. Okay. A, birth certificate is not defined in 18 USC subsection 1028 since it itself explanatory. This document is issued by different agencies in different states and foreign countries. Nevertheless, it represents the official government statement by the proper government agency that a person having such a name was born on a particular date in a particular place of specific parentage. Obviously, a birth certificate is not intended to actually identify the person who claims such a document pertains to him. There are few physical characteristics that remain the same as those at the time of birth. Okay. Nevertheless, the birth certificate has become commonly accepted as an identification document in this country. B. Driver's license is not defined in 18 U.S.C. subsection 1028. The original purpose of this government-issued document was to state that a particular person was authorized to operate a vehicle upon the public roadways. It was not intended to establish one's identity. Because of the absence of a better document, what was that better document? It was a national identity card. It says, however, the driver's license eventually has become commonly accepted as the national identity card, but it is not a national identity card. Section 1028 covers both domestic as well as foreign government-issued driver's license. And then C, personal identification card is defined in 18 U.S.C. subsection 1028D4 to mean an identification document issued by a state or local government solely for the purpose of identification. This definition would appear to limit such documents to those issued by domestic, i.e., within the United States, governmental entities, in contrast to the first two, birth certificates and driver's license. This document is normally issued by state departments of motor vehicles to provide an identification document for those persons who do not, for some reason, obtain a driver's license. In 1979, the National Committee on Uniform Traffic Laws and Ordinances, authors of the Uniform Vehicle Code, UVC, provided for the issuance of identification cards for non-drivers. Okay, I mean, you're not doing commerce when you're traveling, and restrictions on the unlawful use of such cards. The UVC, which serves as the model state code for vehicular matters, defines a personal identification card as a document issued by the Department of Motor Vehicles for the sole purpose of identifying the bearer and not authorized for use as a driver's license. Now, again, this is going back to show you the most powerful one, okay, of all of these documents is the nationalization, the national identity card. That's the most powerful one, okay? In absence of a national identification card, you have to use instruments that's not issued by a nation. It's issued by a corporate company that people think is government, okay? So this is how our people's birthrights is being so abridged, okay, and violated on so many levels. This is why we say let's move together. So knowing that when you are moving individually, and you think that all of the processes that you're doing is going to get you further than all of us as a group, as a nation of people doing the same thing, you're sadly mistaken. And this is why, again, we try to tell people, let's come together, because it's things we can do now together. The power of nationalization, because national identification and documents come from the nation. And when you deal with government to government relations, you also are dealing with international law. And if this is according to international law, that means that you need protection, okay? And protection only comes from governments, nations, not individuals, not churches, not mosques, synagogues. These things are non-governmental organizations, and they always are in place, and our people are always a part of these institutions, but are they providing real remedy? That's the question. We have things that we're already currently doing that is building towards that nation, that government, to restore and do a reclamation of our state. So just wanted to read that to add to what you were saying, Noble, about the nationalization or the nationality card.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna be able to get it done. And to those in the chat, just know how important it is that we come together and work out our differences. I mean, one thing I learned being on these YouTube streets, on all these so-called conscious channels and panels, is that there's more debating and division than there is actually building and unity. It's not enough of that going on in the quote unquote conscious community or the quote unquote nationalist community. There's so much bickering and arguing about who's right, who's wrong, who elder who had the right teaching and all, when we have to come to a consensus. And the only way that anything gonna get done is if we do it as a collective. That's the only way it's gonna get done. You know, if you got a better way to get it done, cool. Do it your way. You know what I'm saying? But just know that we over here and we doing our thing too. Is it possible that we can come together with the power that you use it and the power we using to get more done for our people? You know what I'm saying? We're not up here trying to browbeat nobody in the head. You got to be a Moor. You got to be in the Moor Science Temple. No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. But if you can find a better way, do it. Do it for real. Because one thing that we don't want over here is the same nonsense that's over there. You keep that over there. Keep it over there. Because we're doing things. We putting our money where our mouth is. You know what I'm saying? We actually, what we saying we're doing it. We putting our lives on the line every day. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no joke. You know, this ain't nothing we playing on. We ain't trying to play with nobody, trying to be right or be the new best thing. No, we are that deal. We are that thing. We ain't the new best thing. We are that thing that we need to be doing right now. And that's unity, nationalization, and reclaiming our birthright. Period. That's it. Islam.
Islam, yeah. So, I think you pretty much summed it up right there. I definitely want to also, if you guys are using Android, just something I forgot to say earlier. Be careful of the system update. It's a specific one that they're using to the app application is actually called System Update, and they're using this as a Trojan horse again to steal your data, and it's a hacker. And this one actually heats up the phone when you get it, and it causes other health implications. But these are the type of things that take place to our people because there's no nation to defend the people. So this is some of the things that we're saying why we need to come together to stop all the bleeding, and we may not all be able to stop all of the bleeding at once, but we could put a make it slower, until the next generations come behind, continue to work. So anybody have any questions for us?
Islam, I don't see no questions yet.
Any questions in the chat? Any questions in the chat?
I'm gonna say something real quick, Islam. Like, guarantee you, once this live is over with, it's gonna be that one person that's gonna have a serious question and gonna be like, "Damn, I should have asked the question when they were on." Because you don't know when you're gonna keep on seeing everybody on the streams like that. So if you have any real questions, you can answer them if they can be answered right now. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna be that one person, everybody, that one person. When as soon as we get off, I should have answered this question. See, now I see some people in the chat right now.
Okay, yeah. So with the Android update, if you have Android, um, first of all, you know that the microchips for the factory, the companies, they are shutting down some of their Samsung products here because they're not able to get those chips because the um, labor market is hit. But with that, on top of that, um, if you do have an Android smartphone, smart devices, there's a specific app called System Update. It might come across your phone, informing you to update your phone, or might be like a routine update, and it's actually called System Update. Um, and it's been confirmed by a mobile security firm uh, called Zimperium, and they have been tracking this and been getting the complaints. They classify this app as a rat or remote access Trojan. And it means that this app is allowed to hack your device, take all your information, and give you and give the hackers your remote location and all of your access to your pictures, files, and everything like that. And when you press you agree to the terms, which you don't, a lot of times our people don't even uh, read the terms. They are you're agreeing to the terms so they can take all your information and then sell it to other companies as well. So,
Islam.
mhm.
I saw this recurring question in the chat. Somebody was asking, are you affiliated with the House of Reawakening Minds?
Yeah, we know Dr. G. We love Dr. G with Taj, yeah. And we I don't say affiliated. It's not like a company or anything, but those are your mothers and brothers too. So yeah, that's our
Man, they froze them.
know, and we watch them, support them too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Then somebody else asked, did Africans? Hold on. Did Africans build the pyramids?
okay, that's a good question. They were
I'll go
not
ahead and put
called
my food in this
Africans.
oven. Excuse me, sir.
Um,
Sorry
Africans,
about
we didn't call ourselves that, and we actually didn't even call pyramids. Pyra comes from fire, burning. That's in the Greeks, the contemporary Greeks that went over there couldn't pronounce pyre. They couldn't pronounce those words, so they ended up calling it pyramid, or Patmos. I mean the fire burning. That's what pure mean. So the uh, Africans, quote unquote, um, did not build that because they didn't. It wasn't a group of people called quote unquote Africans at that time. It was called Tamaru, or many different names, and they didn't just build it in Africa. There's pyramids over here as well. It's really all over the world. Our people built castles, temples, mosques, synagogues, churches, um, pyramids, mounds, you
that.
name it,
See all these
all over.
motherfuckers from.
All right.
Somebody also wanted to know what Yusuf L wanted to know, I guess he wanted to know what's your background. No, what's that on your background? What's that tapestry you got in the back?
Oh yeah. So this is the circle of life, the zodiac, 12 zodiac, the sun in the middle. Again, just dealing with the sun, where all religions get their doctrine from. Uh, the sun, which is the governor of the planetary alignments, and then of course you got your constellations, your zodiac going around. So That's what that is. That's true religion, true creation
I'm gonna
principle.
answer, I'm gonna answer this one question. Somebody said, "What is your take on polygamy?" What is your take on polygamy? It's not my take. It's about what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? I can only take care of that which I can take care of. You know what I'm saying? Even inside the Islamic Holy Quran, it says you can take as many wives as you want for yourself, but only take enough wives that you can take care of. In so many words, I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
So if you can take care of 30 wives, good luck with that. But if you can, but it's best. This is my take. This is just my opinion. Do what's right for the woman or for the women. You know what I'm saying? Do what's right for the mothers. You know what I'm saying? If that's something that a person want to do, that's their choice. That's why I said, what's your thoughts on polygamy? How do you feel about it? I mean, if that's something you would like to do, go ahead. Kudos to you. But that's not something I'm gonna do. That's not my thing. That's not me. And me and my empress already had a conversation, long drawn out conversation about it, and we both agreed that that's not that's just our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Islam, Islam, Islam. I want to get my little intake on it, real
Go
brief.
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
um, it's a great thing if you're really in it for the right purposes and the right reasons, which is really building nation building, where the two women see eye to eye on wanting to build an empire. It's not all about sexual intercourse. It's not all about that. It's about
Right.
really having the mindset of getting out of the impoverished mindset and building upon businesses. And then we what can happen is that the husband and one of the wives can help one wife build her company up. Then vice versa. Okay. Then the husband can also focus on his, and they all collab together as one cohesive unit. See, the mindset of our people thinking that polygyny or polygamy is all about intercourse, and it's not. It's about literally building wealth and building it for future generations. See, what we have to realize that the Western world got that all misconstrued. We were always a people that was like that, but the women chose the man. Okay, the men didn't choose the woman. So we, as Moors, that's why we wear the fez on our heads to let you know that is connected to the mother or the women, because y'all are the original nation builders. If you want to be technical, you see what I'm saying? Because what happened, it took the mothers to come together to choose that one husband to come together as a sisterhood to say like, okay, we're going to build an empire with this man right here. So that's how it really took place. And what happened, Western civilization got their hands on it and misconstrued a whole lot of this because it's very ancient. It really is. It's in your so-called biblical text. Okay, that's what I want to say. I have experience in it, so I'm putting it out there how it's supposed to be done. Because you got brothers and sisters out here lusting with this movement, and it don't have nothing to do with you. Really got to deal with your higher self and about really building. Because you got people out here like, yeah, I want to I want to get two wives and go buck wild on them. No. You got women out here. I want to have more than one husband. I'm ready to go wild on them. No, it don't work like that. It has to be a common ground. Period. It is, and it's not no favoritism either. Oh, he love me. He love her more than me. No. Everybody's supposed to show equal love because the simple fact is, it's really about building a nation. Seriously, it really is. And our people need to really be re-educated on that and stop thinking with the lust, which is your lower self. And that's where you get messed up at. And I yield.
Right, and then you also got to take into consideration a lot of our people being targeted, murdered, things of that nature, genocide waged against us. So we're gonna have to think about something, you know. And like you said, you can't come with the North South principle. So that's an issue in itself because a lot of our men and women are under attack from different angles. So yeah, that's a couple classes on that. uh,
And
Well,
Islam, I want
couple.
to add on. I just want to add on one more time.
yeah,
Another thing I want our brothers and sisters to know, or our brothers slash fathers and our sisters slash mothers to know, that now that Albion is practicing polygamy, and that's dealing with the Mormons. They've been practicing that. They got that from us. And see, I really want to go into details on how was sprung out, what they did and how they was doing it and what went wrong with them practicing it. But that will be another time. I hope to be able to talk about it on a Patreon stream with the brothers so everybody can really know how all this spun upon how it created other things when they tried to practice it. You got to remember these beings are low vibrational. Okay, they really are, because a lot of things came out of when they tried it out and it backfired on them. That's how you have these STDs, literally, because they tried to do it and it didn't work for them. And now what Albion men are doing is they're getting our women and practicing polygamy now. And I have receipts on that, but I'll do that another time. Okay, because they know that you mothers or our women, y'all are the sacred geometry. They know that. Our men, a lot of our men are not knowing this. And you're running to the Albion woman. See, there's a lot of the stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But you have to know who you are. But this is really supposed to be dealing with nation building. And you have to also know this is a spiritual connection. It's a spiritual connection. And a lot of people get into these polygamous relationships with mental issues, control issues. Some of them are narcissists. So you really got to know how to choose and know what this is really for. Some women say, I don't share. Can I tell you something? You are sharing. You know how? I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how you sharing. Because when you slept with Pookie and Ray Ray, and Homeboy was sleeping with Shaniqua, and y'all got together, and y'all still probably low key doing something with them, you practicing polygamy right there. Your side chick and your side man, that's polygamy right there. Okay, just letting y'all know, because some of y'all on here got that going on. I mean, I'm just gonna let you know. Some of y'all got that going on here. And I know somebody's gonna be laughing out loud. The person's gonna be laughing out loud. Probably got that going on. I said probably, not saying that y'all got it going on doing that right now. So just letting y'all know that you practicing it right now. All right. So keep that in mind. This is very serious. You know what I mean? So when you talk about that too, you're also exchanging DNA. Okay. So you're dealing with people that you slept with. And if you didn't cleanse yourself, you sleep with somebody that he slept with and she slept with 10 times over. And that is what you call another sign of STD, sexual transmitted demons or deities. Keep that in mind. Okay. All right. I yield the floor.
Islam. Islam.
Islam.
I'm trying to figure out what Paula McClennan was talking about. She said a guy was a Moor who was at the Capitol business building. What information is that? Because I haven't heard anything about it.
You talking about the shooting?
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah. All of our people are Moors don't realize it, so that ain't nothing to be alarmed about. He just not aware of the status, Yep.
I think that's
So
I think that's like a psyop or some way to get us hemmed up on, because they know 'cause a lot of things that we're doing right now, their time is up, and it's our time to come and reclaim what's ours. And so now they about to try to hit us with the ooh-wop. That's why it's time for us to be unified and get to a point where we can actually evict them off the land. That's what I'm looking forward to, a day when we could just say get on your ships and go out there into the ocean to a hurricane. Because they can't. Where can they go that they can claim that's theirs? You know. And I also wanted to say, as far as that, there's it's a lot going on, y'all. We have to stay diligent and really know that we have to really work towards getting this job done. There's a lot of people that's interested in the classes, Brother Noble Isaiah L. I've seen a couple posts of people actually trying to get their cards and paperwork. So I did put a comment in the chat where they can get they got your information where they can get the fees for the paperwork and everything. And trust me, it's very reasonable. It ain't gonna knock you in the head or nothing like that. Because nationality is actually dealing with your mind. It ain't dealing with no paperwork or nothing. It's the mental set first. It's a mindset first. Because you can get all the paperwork and IDs in the world, but if you don't know what it is, you ain't got the proper erudition about what you got in your pocket or in your hand, then it's just worthless. So that's what the classes are about. That's what the classes are about. And I'll let Brother Noble Isaiah speak more towards them lines. Islam.
Right. I think you said it. The classes are free. All we ask is that you just participate and put your energy and effort into what we're building, and the processing is a whole nother thing. That's not even that's really for the materials, really. So I just see you said please repost the info to change your status. Right. So status correction, people been doing, or there's a big talk about status correction. We hear that from a lot of sovereign citizens and stuff like that. Um, Status correction takes place in the mind. You got to learn who you are politically, linguistically, um, socially, economically. You learn who you are culturally, all these different ways outside of a process uh, that someone is looking to sell you and really rob you of your birthright in your state. Because nationality deals with birthrights, and birthrights are unalienable, can't be bought, sold, or transferred. So you just from you coming from the womb of a woman, coming through, incarnating through her, um, you have unalienable birthrights. Okay, so we teach about that. We teach about how birthright works, and we also are teaching about action items, putting it into action. Okay, so um, that's the process, and then we go from there. We start to build, and people can tell you, what we've been doing to build and things of that nature. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what that whole process is.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to answer a question from Gems, and a couple times, I was reading a couple of your comments, brother or sister, whoever you are, and it's just this one that just caught me by, like I have to ask. Let me. I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna answer it. Does the Moorish community have any thoughts about the rise of suicides among Black youths? It has been creeping up and outpacing white counterparts since 2018. Let me say this. What are your thoughts on the rise in suicides of Moors? Because we're not Blacks, but since you want to put the label on it, um, the rise of suicides are pretty much inflated because if you think about it, there are so many different avenues where our people, as far as our young Black men, have ways out. We can't just look at what they put in statistics and believe them. Our children go through a lot. Our children go through a lot of things that our parents or their parents put on them. It's not so much about the black youth or about the Moorish community. It's about you. It's about you as a parent. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, what are your thoughts on it? Just like the last question when somebody was talking about polygamy. Okay, what's your thoughts on it? Because it's not about my thoughts. It's not about nobody's their thoughts. Because because popular to pop I slur my words right there, but this is the thing. We've been trying to bring Moors have been trying to bring a certain program to the people since 1914, since the 1930s. Am I right? We've been bringing this certain type of information to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody been listening. It's not that we don't care about our youth or our people, but we have more important things going on right now. You know, and I'm not saying that. Just like I said, I think that the numbers are inflated. I really don't think that our youth are killing themselves like that. I don't even think the violence in Chicago is gang based. I really think it's rogue cops and ops out there killing our people and taking their organs. If you really want to be real about it.
Come to
But
find out, that's true, more.
yeah, so that's why I look at these questions, and I'm reading them from an objective standpoint. So I have to always say, okay, what you think about it, and give me your observation, and then maybe your observation will be the solution to the problem. And see, that's the thing. We keep looking outside ourselves for problems of the solution. You know what I'm saying? We too busy looking outside. Okay, so what's Nation of Islam gonna do about poverty? What the Moors gonna do about housing and getting out? What are you gonna do? What can you do as an individual? What can you do right now at this moment, right now? What can you do? And what's your solution? What's your ideas in stopping the suicide rate of young black men? Is there a way you can counsel them? Or is there a way you can help? And I might think I don't want y'all to think I'm being harsh. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so linguistically proper sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put the proper words in the way it's gonna stroke your ego. I'm gonna put it in a perspective where you can understand it. Okay? The problem with our people, including our youth, if they are committing suicide at an alarming rate, which I highly doubt, the key to that is coming together as a nation of people and taking care of our nation of people, letting our mothers heal our young black men and our young black women. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote. I'm just saying black as a choice of words. Healing them, taking them up under their wing and healing them spiritually, doing some chakra work on it, giving them spiritual baths and saging them and rubbing them down with crystals and hitting them with tuning forks and putting the tuning forks on their third eye to bust open their pineal gland. There's ways we can get past it, but y'all want to take Ritalin and Prozac and you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why they knocking themselves off. You know what I'm saying? Because they taking this medication. They out here smoking this weaponized marijuana. That's what it is. It's weaponized marijuana. All y'all out here smoking that loud pack and it ain't got no seeds in it. And it's that green and it smell that loud. That's that weaponized marijuana y'all get from them dispensaries. That's that Bill Gates shit. Excuse my language. Ain't no more good marijuana no more. I don't even smoke it no more. I stopped smoking it about 4 years ago. I don't even smoke it no more. I don't trust it. especially when they was out here with the what they call that, the bath salts. When they was out here smoking that, jumping through car glass windows, and I'm like, oh no, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm staying away from. I don't want nothing else. They out here eating people's faces. Pay attention to that now, y'all. Pay attention to that, y'all. Pay attention to what's going on out here around you. Now, why all of a sudden they want to legalize something that they was trying to put everybody in jail for what 7 years ago? Now they want to legalize it, and they want to make it cool for everybody to get now. And then all of a sudden, here come the CDC talking about the zombie apocalypse, right? Right? And then they up here talking about take this vaccine. All this stuff is connected. Also, the update that Brother Isaiah got to talking about, how you know that update ain't updating the virus, the vaccination that you taking. You know it's nanofibers and stuff like that. How y'all know that's not interconnected? That's just me ranting, y'all. But just know that, man, the only option to get away from all these problems that we having right now is straight up coming together as a people, man. That's it. And nationalizing and putting the world on notice that we have returned and we coming back for everything they owe with interest, period. And it's not reparation. Islam.
Islam and Tanjanzo, you said land in Nevada. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we need to be doing. But we're not just trying to claim or reclaim, I should say, the land for just Nevada. We're trying to get the entire state. Okay, that includes North, Central, and South America, the adjoining islands, and Northwest Africa, what they call, or Northeast, Tunis, Tripoli, Algiers, Morocco, the Kingdom, all of that landmass, that area as well.
Wonderful, Morris. So, anyone else want to add something else before we close it out for tonight?
Islam. I just wanted to say to the chat, there's a lot more we about to start doing. We are gonna start doing Zoom conferences, private Zoom conferences. I was talking to B Miles about it, and nobody's there, and Brandon Forte, we was talking about it. And we're gonna talk more about it before we actually roll it out. But you know, it's people that's in your that's inside of your chat, that's your subscribers that's serious about learning. And I want us to be able to, meet the needs of, certain individuals, and also be more formal. We can actually look at people in their face, eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be giving the information to B Miles, and he'll be putting it on his channel very soon. And we're gonna get together. We're gonna get this job done, y'all. It's gotta be a collective thing. I love y'all. Y'all in my heart. I do this not only for y'all, but for y'all children's children. And also mine. That's why I'm in this fight. I'm not doing this for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for your children. Islam.
Islam, well said. And you know, Aaron Rollins said, "What's your guys' take on Lil Nas X?" I don't have a take necessarily. I just observed that people are talking about him. All of the stuff he's doing, selling his soul to the devil, literally bending over for the devil. And yeah, it's hurting our community on a large level because that's a visual, and images are powerful in our community. But you got to also think about the people who are selling out to the devil every day as well. So that's only going to stop when we all come together, you know. And we know that everybody not going to come together, but for those who are willing. So that's what we need to do for those who are willing. And for those who desire to take further steps, we have classes. Again, they're free. We cover a lot of information in those classes. And we actually are doing our nation building project. So come join us. And we already put the information in the chat. Thank you for everybody giving us a listening ear. Thank you for B Miles for the platform, and we're definitely grateful. And I yield.
All right, I just got something to say. I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat, from those that were positive and negative. We need the balance on that. That's why I wanted to address that. I also want to say thanks to the brothers on the panel. We all talk to each other outside of this, and we've created a true brotherhood, and we are truly nation building. Appreciate all the brothers on here, and our brothers that couldn't make it tonight. Noble William Jolly Bay and Noble Larry King Bay, which I believe they probably watching right now. And want to go ahead and send divine love and respect to all of our mothers in our nation. And I want to say this was great. And we have to really look at unity as the key. And we need to stop listening to these paid agents. I'm not going to name any names, but they the ones that always have you on the marches. We're going to march through to Ferguson, and we're going to go ahead and right, and we're going to go ahead and be featured on featured so-called pro black and be on the Grammys and everything. Okay,
throw some tomatoes at them.
right. You know, we don't get down with that. When you really
now.
exactly when you really look at it, you know, we the one us on the panel, we really are serious about building what we said we're building, and you know, this is something that we really are serious on. Okay, and that's all I want to say. Thanks to everybody for watching. Islam, peace and love.
All right, fam. We're going to take it out from right then and there. And we want to say thanks to everybody that's on the panel. Peace and love. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Islam, peace and love.
Islam, peace and love.